Good day, folks. Today I'm going to make sausages. We're going to use the packages that we made in the last video. These are the ones that are made for 5 pounds of meat or protein. And we have 10 pounds of mousse. And we have some fat, but I got to cut up the piece of fat because it's too much. But anyway, we have 10 pounds of mousse. So I'm going to make Georgia peach bratwurst and mango tango bratwurst, which are recipes developed by the Bearded Butchers. These are the packages we did last time of the seasonings to make those. So we have a Weston number 8 575 watt meat grinder. On the side of it, and just to show you it's not plugged in, and on the side, that's your buttons. There's an on, off, and a reverse if it gets stuck. And we have our attachments. This here is like the funnel. Goes on here, and you have to push this little white button. Turn it till it locks. Now, the only way that comes off now is if you push the button again. Next we have the screw. This screw goes inside here and it powers the meat into the grinding blades. Now you notice it has a plastic gear here. With the model comes a spare gear. So I would imagine that sometimes this machine can lock up and you'll strip your gears. So I'm going to try not to do that today. But anyway, you slide that in here. You can feel it. It catches the gears. It catches in there. We're going to begin with the coarse plate. There's coarse, medium, which we'll be doing next. And the fine, which we're not going to use. That's for fruits and stuff. So the flat parts of the blade, not the rounded back, the flat part of the blade goes up against the grinding plate. So we put it in the machine that way. Put the plate in. The plate has a little notch on it. The notch lines up with a notch that's on here. So it only goes on one way, right there. Screw this piece on. Now you don't need to make this super duper tight. You just want to make it finger snug. Good enough. So now we have that part of the machine. This is our feeder, our hopper, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put our meat in. This here's our push tube. So the next step, I have this fat, but it's too much. So I have to put my gloves on. I don't know whether I'm protecting myself and the meat or the meat for me. But anyway, it's only a good habit to have. We have the scale here. I'm going to put this plate on it to keep it from getting dirty from the meat. Turn the scale on and then it automatically zeroes in. There, 0. Now I just need to find out how much fat we have. Remember, with 10 pounds of meat, we need 1 pound of fat. That makes 1/10 of it. So it's 1 pound, 10 ounces. So take a rough guess and say that's 10 ounces, I guess. 1 pound, 3 ounces. I'm getting closer. I don't want too much fat in. I'm going to save it for other jobs, other sausage jobs that we're making. Because I'd like to make some plain bratwurst after too. And there we go. I have 1 pound, 0.07. That's 1 pound close enough for me. This I'm going to put back into a vacuum seal bag. I'm going to turn this off, put it out of our road. Seal the bottom. Oh, something like this, I guess. I'm just sealing it back up to keep it as clean as possible and fresh as possible. Because I won't be making sausages again for another week or so, or 2 weeks, or maybe even longer. There it is. Our fat's sealed up, and I'll put it in the freezer. So it stays nice and fresh. There's all our moose meat, which I've already measured, and it's 10 pounds. So all I want to do is cut the meat into cubes small enough that they easily fit into this tube on the tray here. You don't want to have to force them in there, and you don't want them to get stuck in there. So about that size, I'm going to cut all this meat up, and I'm going to put it in this plastic tray for later. I'll be cutting all this meat up into small pieces like that, including the fat. And then the next step will be to season all the meat. So now we have 10 pounds of moose meat and 1 pound of pork fat. And I just have to get it ready for the grinder. The only spice we're putting in at this time, well, here, we have 10 pounds of moose meat and 1 pound of pork fat. And I'm only making 5 pound batches of peach and mango. So, but the bottom step, the first step, is to put in this maple seasoning. So I'm going to put the maple seasoning in for the whole 10 pounds, pass it through the grinder. At that point, then I'll cut this in half, so I have 2 5 pound bunches of it, because I'm only making 5 pounds of Georgia peach and 5 pounds of mango tango. So to begin with, I'll put the maple seasoning in. sure it's all mapley. Try and get that spice over all the pieces. This way, when the grinder's doing its job, it's going to mix that spice up even more with all the pieces. Then after this coarse blade, we're going to run it through the medium grinder. At that point, it'll be ready to mix. Well, that looks pretty equally mixed up here. Okay. I have to clean these rubber gloves. It's just all spicy and bloody. I don't want to push the buttons on the machine. Plug it in. Well, I guess I didn't have it turned off, but it's off now. Okay, so here we go. So our first pass is through the grinder. Now I'm going to try and put it through with the finer blade. As the bearded butchers say on their site, if it's really hard to go through, add a bit of water to the meat. Because you can add like a cup of water to that meat and it'll be okay. But I'm going to try without doing the water first. So I got to change this blade, this disc. Gotta unplug it just in case something goes crazy. I don't want to grind my fingers. Gotta line up that little bump. Just for now there. Just to make sure it sounds good. Sure. I don't know. I might just add a little bit of water to it anyway before I even try. About 1 cup, I don't know. I'm just about that much. I don't know, half a cup maybe of water. Apparently it helps it go through better. Okay, let's see what just happened here. Looks like it's going through nice. And we're back. It's through the second grind. It's looking pretty nice now. So it has all the maple seasoning mixed in with, that's 10 pounds plus 1 pound of fat. So I'm going to measure approximately 5, a little bit over 5, I guess.
5.5.
And because it's like 5.5 because we got 10 pounds of meat and 1 pound of fat. And the water, I'd like to tell you, during the grinding of this last, I put another half cup of water in there. So that was 1 whole cup of water to make it go through nicely. It was really thick. Okay, I'm going to zero in on this container. Zero the poundage on this container. So that's 0, and I'll put in enough burger to make 5.5. That's 5 pounds 8 ounces, I guess. 2, 3. Trying to build it all over top of the scale itself. 4.6. It's not really point. It's 5. It's 4 pounds 11 ounces. £5 pounds 1 ounce. That's very accurate. 5 pounds 4 ounces and a bit. Good enough for me. So the other must be almost the same, but I can't measure it because I don't know the weight of the dish in the first place. So I'll set this off to the side. I mean, maybe I'll even put that in the fridge. Okay. So I'm going to put it in the fridge. My dear assistant wife here is holding the door open for me. Just to keep everything as cool as possible, as long as possible. And you could shut this off, take it away. My hands are all meat, so I don't want to get it over everything. So next, unplug it. Taking off the medium blade. I'm calling it a blade, but it's not a cutter. The little bit of meat that's in there already won't matter. And you take out this cutter. You don't use the cutter. We're not grinding anymore, we're just trying to push it. It seems like some coarse stuff has wrapped itself around the little shaft. So I'm not going to push that through the sausage. I'll put that in the garbage. It's like some, not sinew, anyway, something wrapped around the shaft. So, inside of the plunger, the Weston models, comes, they call it a kidney plate. And it's used for stuffing. Because now we're not grinding and we're not pushing through little holes. Put that on there. Oh, that's funny. I bought these three stuffing tubes. This one's a 32 mil. I've already got a collagen casing put on. Now, in my previous video, when I cut everything up for 5 pounds of meat, I re-vacuumed my collagen. I didn't use the special feature on the vacuum machine that allows you to go delicate, like that's used for berries and stuff. And it actually squished part of my collagen casing. So if you ever do this, don't put it on full pressure when you're vacuum packing your collagen casings. Put it on gentle. But anyway, no, I managed to get it on anyway. It's on. Anyway, these 3 tubes I bought from Amazon. Very reasonable price. The tube that came with the Weston, with the kidney plate, doesn't fit, it doesn't not a 32. 34 or something, so it doesn't fit my 32 millimeter plates. And there. So now that's set up. Yeah. This one here, see how it's tapered? The one that come with the Weston machine is tapered. So I couldn't put my collagen casings on. It's kind of like useless. But anyway. Now the first ones I'm making is the Mango Tango. I just love that name, Mango Tango. So here's our mango that we packaged up into packages for 5 pounds of meat. And here's the dried jalapenos and powder for 5 pounds of meat. Well, I'll put the mango in first, I guess. Very tasty stuff, this mango. They're gonna make sweet breakfast sausages. It's not something I don't think most people would like for supper or anything. In the next sausage making video, I'll make just plain bratwurst sausages using the Bearded Butcher's bratwurst sausage mix. This you don't put through the grinder, obviously. It would make a ground up mess. Just try and mix it up evenly. Oh, this is like fun. Playing plasticine or something. Or kneading bread. I think it's pretty mixed up. I've also got to mix in the dried jalapeno, so I'm going to mix up even more then. Sure, take a big sniff of this. This you mix it really good because you don't want one piece of sausage to have half the jalapeno and the rest not. And somebody biting into their sausage bites into that big chunk of jalapeno spice. Got to get it mixed up as best you can. Well, I think it's just about ready. Give it a few more squishes for good luck. I'm going to get my wife Sharon, to help. She can help guide the sausages. And I'll fill the machine. So yes. Okay.
What do you want me to do?
You're going to hold this and let this tube push off. If you hold it back here, the casing's just going to come out with a big clump. And then you're going to try and coil it on here.
Okay.
And here we go. Oh, we got to plug it back in. I'm going to go slow. I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. I don't want to break that little gear. The plastic gear. Coming out nice, there's no air bubbles in there. So dry. Cooking all that water and dropping off in there. So there's our roll of
Tango
bratwurst
breakfast.
sausage.
Yeah, and
Where are we going to put that? You got to put it on something flat in the fridge until we do the peach.
yeah. Oh, I could just put it on my breadboard here.
Sure.
If it's gonna
And-
fit. Yeah.
You tied the end off here. And
Yeah, you should cut that off because that's still good casing.
yeah,
For
yeah, we're not going to use it right away. Might never.
So you can start mixing up your other one.
Yep. I gotta rinse this
And we gotta do the,
cutting and everything after. That's not. You don't have to do it right now.
well, I was thinking, there's probably, for breakfast sausages, you don't need them very long. So instead of like 5 inch, like 3.5.
And that's gonna be long enough.
Yes.
Yeah. If somebody wants two, they'll have to.
You're gonna take your meat out of here. Make a switch. I'll put the casing on while you mix that up.
Well,
Start.
I need to stand where you are, but that's okay. Put the casing on. So Sharon's putting the casing onto the tube. The 32 mil casing onto the 32 mil tube. Okay. I believe, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can put my new gloves on. So the previous casing was hard to put on because it was squished. That one went on pretty nicely.
Well, I just started taking it apart where it was squished.
Oh, there was some squished on too?
Yeah, at the end, the beginning.
Oh, well. Live and learn, eh? So this is also approximately 5 pounds of meat. But this has, we have the maple spices here. We do not have jalapeno or anything, just the maple. But we're putting in peach, because this is the Bearded Butcher Georgia peach recipe. This is the peach we repackaged in an earlier video. Being 25 pounds of meat for 5 pounds. Oh, and also we found that water helped the last one, so I'm going to put about half a cup. Just helps it to go through the machine easier because it's very thick. By no means is this machine a good replacement for a real sausage stuffing, but it works. If we ever had a full moose to process or a full deer to process or anything, I would want to buy a real sausage stuffer. The last 5 pounds of meat, it took about over half an hour. I guess that's not that bad. Thank you. Now the first sausage that comes out of this is going to have a little bit of the mango tango in it. So we got to remember that. So we don't feed it to anybody and say, this is a Georgia peach. And they bite in this big chunk of jalapeno. Because I didn't clean all this mechanism out. Well, I think that's mixed up pretty darn good. And off we go again, I guess. Put a pile in here. That's it, that's all.
That's it, that's all she wrote?
There's some meat in here still, but we'll make that into a patty, I guess.
Give me a pair of scissors somewhere. Tie it off. Tie my rubber gloves finger too.
So let's put this batch in the fridge too. And then I'm gonna clean everything up, wash down the machine, and then start putting the sausages in the bags.
See if I can fit this on here. Where? You want it on
Just set it on top?
No.
Okay, get out of there then and let me finish off. You got it?
I got it. You start cleaning up your mess you've made.
Okie dokie. So everything is now washed up. All the tools. We're going to be into cutting. I'm just going to make them approximately as wide as my fingers. And yeah, I'm not making them super long because it's not really that many sausages here, and we don't. And there's a lot of meat in a sausage because it's a big fat sausage. So do an approximate measure. Now, I know some people like to twist it. But the bearded butchers, and I've got to take their knowledge on stuff, it says that with the collagen casings, it's hard to twist them because the casing breaks. So this is just the way they do it. And well, they make a lot of sausages. I'll just do it this way. And this is the Georgia peach. So I'm going to continue cutting them up. And then I'm going to cut up the mango tango into sausages like this. And then I'll vacuum wrap them. I'll show you when I'm vacuum wrapping. So there you have it. We have 5 pounds of Georgia peach sausages ready to vacuum wrap. But I'm going to put them in the fridge right now, keep them cool. And I'm going to work on the mango tango. and 5 pounds of mango tango, all ready to do vacuum wrapping. Gonna put 4 in some of the packages. One package sealed up. I'm gonna keep them separate. That's the mango tango. The mango tango mousse for this year is all packaged up. Most of them I put in packages of 2. It's all ready to go back in the fridge, and then I'm going to do the Georgia peach. Hello again. Now we have all the Georgia peach mousse sausages packaged up. And of course all labeled. So I'm going to put them in the fridge for now. Clean up everything again, put the tools away, and cook them. Well, not all of them. Cook a couple to taste them.
Foxy.
Yeah.
Mango tango. Trying it out here.
On the left side.
Oh. Georgia peach. Right here.
On the front side.
Yeah.
It's cold out there. I'm
Oh,
gonna close the door. I'll film you when it's cooked more, as it's sizzling.
Sure smells good. This is the front is the Georgia peach. And the back is the mango tango. Breakfast sausages, so we're going to have them with some eggs. Got a ways to go. They have to be 170 degrees. That's what they say. Okay, those are done now.
Great.
Those are the mango tango, and those are the California Georgia peach.
Georgia peach.
So you want one of each?
I want one of each, please.
Okay.
And put them on the side of the plate so I know which one's which. Mango tango, you can see the mango in there. And jalapeno spice. It's a small bit drier than pork, but that's because it's moose.
Yeah.
But they're not dry, like they're juicy because of the pork fat that we put in.
A little bit of a tang. You can feel it on your tongue after.
Yeah. Got the Georgia peach. Yeah, you can feel a little bit. Not too strong, no, it's not too hot.
Mm.
Georgia peach, you can taste the maple. Not bad. Bearded Butchers, you come up with good spices. Don't forget, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And click like if you like it. Bye-bye.